Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my friends and fellow leaders. Welcome to A Leader's Journey. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond, and I'm glad to have you back here with me this week on the podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so happy that you are here. I know that your time is valuable, and I'm grateful that you have chosen to spend some of it here with me today. And I want to give you a big high five for taking the time to invest in your growth and development as a leader. This week on the podcast, I wanted to take a little bit of a different take on leadership. As leaders, we are all humans, and there are things that we do that are part of our lives that are not part of our leadership. Yet I do firmly believe that they impact our leadership. So I wanted to kind of give you a sneak peek behind the scenes and get to know a little bit more about me. And I wanted to share with you what are some of the things that I like to do for fun. Now, that's not a side that a lot of people get to see from me on a regular basis, especially if you're engaging here on the podcast, because we're talking about leadership, we're talking about business, we're talking about how we can continue to grow and develop as leaders. And I do firmly believe that one of the best things that you can do for your growth as a leader is have fun. Do things that bring you joy on a regular basis. Do things that tap into your creative muscles, that are things that light you up and get you excited. Now, leadership is one of those things for me. I love a good leadership book. I love a good leadership podcast, and I can talk about leadership all the time, hence the fact that I have a leadership podcast. Yet there are other things that I like to do for fun. So I wanted to share some of those with you today. One of the things that I want you to do is then jump in and share with me, what are some of the things that you do for fun? I'm always looking to find some new things that I can dive into and learn about. And I'm always curious, outside of the 9 to 5 and the leadership, what is it that you do and how do you spend your time? Now, one of the things that I like to do for fun is creative activities. And this shows up for me in a variety of different ways. I have the last several years recently got back into Legos. And it's definitely a flashback to my childhood. We always had them growing up. And I love seeing the different collections that Lego has brought out, the different builds that you have. And I've done many of them, from R2-D2 to a DeLorean to going into some of their botanicals collections. And I built a bamboo and a mini orchid. I found a Formula One race car set that Costco had. And so it's been building a lot of different Lego sets. It's a way for me to really exercise my creative muscles and to create something that I have step-by-step directions to follow, so I don't have to really think about what it's going to look like. Yet I love being able to put it together and just kind of see it start to come to life, because the first few bags that you start working on, it doesn't really look like much. And sometimes I'm like, how am I going to get to the end result? This doesn't look anything like what the picture on the box shows, yet it all comes together. So I love building Legos. I love painting. I've done many paint by number sets. I love being able to see that come together, get creative, do something that doesn't require a computer screen or, a book or something, audio playing, just sitting down and being able to kind of get messy and be able to paint. I've been getting back into hand making cards, not as much as I would like to, but again, that's exercising that creative muscle, being able to color. And one of the things that I've been doing the last couple years is another throwback to my childhood, and that's collecting stickers. Bought myself a sticker book and I've been looking for different stickers. And when I go to different places, I start buying and collecting and sometimes trading stickers. And so I have a sticker book. Some of the stickers are just some motivational quotes, some funny quotes, some animals or different shapes, and they're all varieties of colors. I've got one that's a sun that has a nice quote in it. And so I just love being able to have stickers. I even found some that are like the old scratch and sniff stickers that we used to have back in the 80s. It's just been fun, and it's a great creative way for me to do something that I really enjoy. And sometimes I just buy extras and I hand out stickers, and believe it or not, people are excited about it. So stickers are coming back. They're cool again. So, that's something that for me, I really enjoy. It's just a lot of those creative activities again, where I get to make something from start to finish. I've even recently got into making bread. And I've made probably 7 or 8 loaves. I don't know. I kind of lost count. It's just fun. I don't really eat a lot of bread. So now I have bread that I've got to figure out how I'm going to eat. I've brought some of it to work and shared with some of my coworkers. I just like the process of making bread and seeing how flour, water, and yeast can make something that is wonderful. It tastes great. And I do love the smell that's in my house after bread has been baking in the oven for an hour. One of the other things that I like to do for fun, and it's something that my husband and I do together, and we've recently started doing the last couple years, is going off-roading. I have always loved being in nature. I love to hike, and just to be out where there's no cell service and just reconnect with nature, getting to see the different trees and the flowers and weeds that are growing, and being able to see the different birds that are out there. You know, I don't really particularly care for the spiders and snakes, but they're part of the package deal, right? So you've got to take that. And I'm lucky enough that where we live, some of the different nature trails that we're able to go on, they lead to waterfalls. And it's just wonderful to be out there, especially as you go through the different seasons of the year and being able to see where the trees are bare and then they're starting to turn green and getting lush, and then in the fall when they start to change colors, it's a fun experience. It's a great way to be able to disconnect, to get away from the hustle and bustle of the suburbs that we live in, get away from people, get away from technology, and just be able to reconnect with yourself, to reconnect with nature. And like I said, this is something my husband and I do together. And so it's a chance for us to get to connect with each other because we're in the car. We can have some good conversations or just turn on some music and just enjoy the time that we're able to spend together. One of the best parts about it is we have a really great community of friends that we go with. And so there's usually 5 or 6, maybe it's a larger group. Sometimes it's 10 or 13. It just depends on the scheduling for everybody. But it's fun to be able to go and spend the day with each other, talking back and forth on the radios when we're in the car, being able to stop and just kind of get out, stretch our legs, walk around, see the different areas that we're in. And then we usually most of the time get together and have a meal afterwards. And it's a really great day. It's a long day because we usually get up and leave early in the morning, and we tend to not get home until well after dinner time. But it's worth that time together just to decompress, to relax, to go out and do something fun. And there's just something that for me, I find very rejuvenating to just be out in nature and breathe the air and just enjoy the beauty of the world that we get to live in. Of course, if you've been around and listening to the podcast, I give a lot of book recommendations. And yes, I do read, for my own growth and development, I just like to read for me because it's fun. I very much enjoy it. There's something about having a book in my hands, reading to learn or to really relax. Reading is for me is very relaxing, even when I strictly read personal development and business books. I really struggle getting into fantasy or any of the other um, different genres that are out there in books. It's just I have a hard time connecting with it sometimes. So for me, it's a lot of business and personal development, but it's very relaxing. It's a great way for me to just sit back. Sometimes I sit in the couch in the morning with a cup of coffee and a book and I just read. And I do take notes while I read. So you'll always see me with a pen and a highlighter, flagging different pages, coming back to it. I found in some of the books that I've read, there's passages that I continue to go back to, or I might sit with for a little bit because it might spark something in me that I'm like, oh, I really want to understand what the writer is trying to say, or maybe it just hits me in a different way and it gives me a chance to really think about, oh, what does that mean? What does that mean for me? Right. Um, Recently I have been reading the book from my coach 50 Not Finished. It comes out at the end of May, so stay tuned for more information on that. I think it's a book that every woman in her 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond needs to pick up and read, and it's been such a re-energizing read to recognize that yes, we may be in our 40s or 50s, yet there's so much that we are destined to accomplish. And this is just the beginning for us. And so I do like to read to just give myself some energy, give myself some fuel, but it's also very relaxing. So I tend to read either first thing in the morning or at night before bed. And it's just a great way for me to kind of start my day and really wind down and end my day. So that's just a little bit about me. Those are the things that I really like to do for fun. I find that when I am consistent in having fun and stepping away from work and stepping away from the obligations that I have as a leader, being able to take that time to have fun really does help me show up as a better leader, not just at work, but with my family and with my friends. Having fun helps me relax. It's a great way for me to manage my stress. It's a great way for me to decompress. And it's something different that I'm not doing, say, 40 hours a week when I'm at work. So I want to hear from you. What is it that you like to do for fun? Reach out and let me know. Drop it in one of my posts in social media or just shoot me an email and tell me what are the things that you like to do for fun. I always like to learn from others and hear what else you are doing. All right, that's a wrap. That's all that I have for this episode. I appreciate you tuning in this week, and I would love for you to tune in with me each week as we discuss the strategies, the development actions, and the mindsets that new leaders can leverage in order to step confidently into the right leadership roles for them. If you've not yet subscribed to the podcast, please do so today so you get reminders and notifications when new episodes are published. You can also join my email community where, again, I will personally notify you anytime a new episode is published. And that's a great way for you to communicate and connect with me as well. Plus, I'll be sending you some leadership insights that you won't find anywhere else that are thoughtful, practical, and just for you. But don't worry, I won't be spamming your inbox and sending out a lot of email messages. Until next time, my fellow leaders, lead with confidence. Show up every day as the leader that you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.